Hello guys, it is Georgia. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing like a mukbang slash like girl talk kind of thing. I basically asked you guys on my Instagram what were some topics that you guys would like advice on, or just to hear me talk about or hear my opinion on, and I got a bunch of different topics that I'm gonna pick some as I go and talk and just chat to you guys about some things that you guys are interested in or you guys think are important. Awesome stuff. We're in a little bit of a different location for today's video, but I'm just gonna somehow position myself on the bed and start answering your questions. I've got pizzas, if you guys can't see, they're from Domino's. I'm gonna bring you guys closer. I've also got some cider here because it's the weekend and your gal has had a long ass day. I'm bloody hungry though, so let me devour a slice real quick. Pizza's like my favorite thing ever, so I'm just gonna scroll through all of these responses. First one is veganism and meat eaters. I'm not vegan anymore. I don't label myself as a vegan. I think I've spoken about this before. I consider myself plant-based. I do not eat meat, but there's a lot of things that I'm more relaxed on. I have no problem with vegans. I have no problem with meat eaters. Like literally everyone else can eat whatever the hell they want, but when it comes to me and what I'm gonna put in my body, that's my decision. I don't really care what people eat that much. I don't think I'm superior to other people because of my diet or anything. It's just what works for me, and I think you should do what works for you. But yeah, I'm not vegan anymore, which a lot of you might be surprised about, but I spoke about it in an update a while ago, and I just really thought that the community wasn't the most supportive place to be. I don't really think I need to explain myself, but yeah, I know people are gonna comment on it eventually, and yeah, people will probably make it a big deal, but I don't think it is a big deal. Okay, a lot of you guys asked about bullying and my experiences with bullying. I was bullied in primary school, but I used to have really bad teeth. I had like 2 really big front teeth and people used to call me a rabbit. I had a plate for a while, and if you guys have had a plate before, I had the one that's like got blocks on it, and it's to help your overbite and to like bring your jaw into line, and that just made me a bit of a target, I guess. I had braces as well. I had lots of freckles. I was chubby. So yeah, I definitely copped a lot, primarily in primary school. And I remember at the time, like, I would go home crying all the time, and my mum went up to the school so many times and no one cared and nobody wanted to do anything about it. And I don't know if it's still like that, because obviously I was in primary school a very long time ago, but if that was my kid and the school wasn't doing anything about it, I think that's horrible. Bullying is one of the worst things, I think, personally, in the world. And there is nothing more detrimental to a person than previously being bullied. Like, it affects so much. It definitely had a huge effect on my mental health, and there's so much that people can do about it. But yeah, people used to steal my lunch. They used to like take the contents of my bag out and like chuck it in the mud if it was raining, or they'd just steal my stuff. They used to pour water in my desk tray so that all of my books and stuff were ruined. They used to put holes in my water bottle so that like when I went to drink it, it would all come out on me, and that was pretty much majority of my primary school experience, to be honest. But I just think that like it's crazy that like a school doesn't do anything about that kind of stuff that's happening on their grounds. I honestly just like, my heart honestly aches when I hear other people being bullied, or yeah, when I know that someone has been bullied, because it's honestly just like something that people shouldn't have to go through and shouldn't have to deal with. No one deserves to feel like that at all. Boy attention on Instagram. I thought this was an interesting question. Obviously, when you're on Instagram, especially being a female, you post a lot of pictures of yourself, often you'll get guys sliding into your DMs. I am sure a lot of you girls out there have had similar experiences where guys will ask you to marry them. They'll ask for pictures of you. They'll want to date you. They'll, you know, ask you out and all this kind of stuff, which I honestly think is gross. I'm not into that. I have never messaged someone from that and been like, yeah, hey, let's chat. It doesn't make me feel very good. And to be honest, I just wish that like guys took me seriously for like this kind of stuff. A lot of like dates that I've been on, or like guys that have spoken to me, kind of make it a joke out of this kind of stuff, which I don't think is funny, because I wouldn't do the same to someone else if they had a hobby. I hate getting the creepy messages that are like, you're so beautiful. Like, if you have something genuine that you want to say, cool, but otherwise get out of my DMs. I've also gotten here a lot about being in a serious relationship. I haven't been in a serious relationship for like 2-ish years now, a bit under that. I'm a big relationshipy kind of person. I love, and I just have a lot of feelings, so I'm never the kind of person that's like, oh yeah, cool, I had my little thing with you, but I'm done now, you know, I've got what I needed. I'm not that kind of person at all. I guess the reason that I'm not really in one is just because I haven't found someone that I have like a genuine connection with. Literally all the people that I've dated have either been very cocky and like just don't have a personality that matches with mine, or like they don't really inspire me to be better, or they just play me. So I'm not opposed to being in a serious relationship. That's kind of what I'm after. I'm, as I said, not really into like the little flings and whatever. I find that a lot of guys don't really support YouTube kind of stuff, which I think is so strange, because to me, you know, if I like you, it doesn't really matter what you do. Like, I don't have to be into it necessarily. Like, I'm not going to shove a camera in someone else's face. But yeah, eventually things will happen, I hope. Otherwise, I'm going to be 40 with like 10 dogs. Not even mad about it. Next one is university life and my experience at uni. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really like uni. I am not, I don't feel like I am my best self when I'm in a uni environment. I'm always stressed. I just don't really enjoy the environment at all. And like, I'm not saying university is bad, because everyone has their own experience, but my experience at uni definitely hasn't been what I expected it to. I don't even know what I expected it to be, but I think I assumed that my experience was going to be very similar to my sister's experience, where she had a huge group of friends, followed them, like, you know, they were all friends from the beginning to the end. They still keep in contact now. You know, she did really well. She just enjoyed the uni environment. And that was not me at all. I started my degree at a really weird time. And so I am never in the same class as people from semester to semester. I'm always changing. It's just confusing. That's just how my subjects are. So it makes it really hard to have friends, because I'm not in the same class as people who I started the degree with. I mean, that's pretty much it. I just don't really enjoy the environment. I'm glad that I've done it and I'm doing it. I've made some wonderful friends along the way, but yeah, it definitely hasn't been what I expected it to be. I just think it's a lot different. It's a lot more different than I expected. That's all I'm gonna say, because otherwise we will be here for a very long time. Instagram versus reality. I love this question, because I was just talking to my mum about this the other day. Lately, in particular, I have seen so many influencers or just people that I follow, and I've seen so many of their pictures being so incredibly edited to the point where it doesn't even look real. And I don't know, like, Instagram is just such an unhealthy place. I think if you use it for the right reasons, obviously it's incredible, and I love Instagram, but there's so many parts of it that I think is so toxic and horrible for young girls, like mental well-being in particular. Like, there was this one girl who I had followed for such a long time. I loved her content. I thought that she was such a genuine person, you know, she was just a really cool gal. And lately she's really stepped up the Facetune game, so far different from what she actually looks like. I was a young girl once just scrolling through Instagram, seeing all these beautiful people and thinking, why don't I look like that? And I feel like nowadays, Instagram wasn't even that big then, and I feel like nowadays that would be amplified so much. It's horrible. Like, I really don't like it. Obviously everyone can do what they want, and I'm all for, you know, if you want to Facetune yourself, if you want to, you know, change your appearance or whatever, go for it. Who am I to judge? It has nothing to do with me at all. But it does start to make me a bit annoyed when they play it off as that's how they look. I'm freaking hot all the time. You know what I mean? I reckon if you use Facetune, like, to that extent, I use it to like whiten my backgrounds and stuff, and, you know, add a bit of white to areas, but I would never ever use it to change my appearance or to make myself look skinnier or my lips bigger or anything like that. And so I feel like if you are gonna use it, you need to state that you're using it, just so that people know. People can scroll past and be like, oh, okay, so she has done something to her face. Otherwise, people just look at them, they'll compare themselves to that and be like, why don't I look like that? I think it's a very unhealthy place to be. And I've said this before too, Instagram's a highlight reel. Like, people only post on there when they're looking their best, when they're doing fun stuff. And I really try to keep that in mind when I am on Instagram, that, you know, I see people and I go, oh my gosh, they're having such an incredible time. They're always out drinking, always partying. You know, they travel all the time, but they don't show the behind the scenes. There's days where you cry. There's days where you're in your pajamas all day. There's days where you have no makeup on, you know, and people just don't post the bad stuff on the internet, which I get. But again, I think it's really important to bring some reality into Instagram. It's just a different world. What is your anthem? Like, soundtrack of you. Oh my goodness. Okay, definitely this is my anthem. When this song plays, like, my soul is just like lifted. I love it. It's Higher Ground by Odiza. It honestly like makes me feel so dang good. Having time for friends, family, and a partner. This is a good topic as well. I think you just need to be organized. I feel like when you first kind of get a boyfriend, I feel like getting a boyfriend or like having a partner is the first kind of thing that like throws everything off. You don't really have the time that you did to spend with everyone. But I think just being mindful and being really smart about where you spend your time. Obviously, you know, you got work, you might have uni, you got study to do, you go to the gym a lot. Like, there's so many things that we have to fit into each day and every week. Just being smart with your time and staying in contact with your friends, keeping your friends close and making sure that your relationship with them is maintained, and never ever forget to spend time with your family. The first like proper relationship that I was in, I let my family slide so much to the point where I kind of lost a bit of like my relationships with my family. I've gotten it back now. Like, I'm the best friends with my family and I will never let them get that far away from me again. The person that I was with, the situation, the scenarios I was always in, I kind of thought that was normal and was like pushing them away. So really just make sure you spend time with your family. Like, that is so important. But then also, you know, don't feel bad for experiencing a new relationship or a new person, enjoying time with them. Like, that is super important as well. But yeah, just don't lose touch of where you've come from, I think. Someone said boy advice for high school. To be honest, I would just say don't get caught up in it. If you get so caught up in it that it takes away from your school, I think like you lose some of that school experience. That's just my personal opinion. I did have a boyfriend when I was in high school, like when I was in grade 12, and I wouldn't change that. I think that it was very good and I enjoyed it. It didn't take away from my schooling. If anything, it kind of made me a bit closer to my school and stuff. Like, you know, if something comes up, I'm not saying like you have to say no, don't do it. But if you're out there like looking for someone and feeling like you need someone, you definitely don't. And if you don't, you kind of just get more time to yourself and more time to do the things that you want to do in high school or in your last year of high school. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I'm going to end that one off there because I don't want this video to be too long. But thank you guys all for your recommendations for what to talk about and for helping me film this mukbang. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you want more mukbangs, make sure you give this one a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It would honestly mean so much to me. I love talking to you all and getting to know each and every one of you. I hope you are having the best day when you're watching this, and I'll see you all in my next video very soon. Bye guys. Well, I wish I could rewind, baby. You look so fine that I really want to make you mine. My green is where it's supposed to be. Your brain is in my grocery. I'm gonna make this thing lower. I'm gonna break it.
Let's go, girls.
I blame my mum for being so obsessed with this song.
Best thing about being a woman.
Such an idiot.
Make me have a feeling.